Hi, how you going? If this is the first time seeing my face, my name is Erin. I am a Reiki master and have been working one-on-one with clients for the last 15 years, just helping people get closer to their heart, closer to their spirit, and live a life that is more in line with what they want. I have decided to start some little online cloud chats. This is the first one. Really my intention for these is that we are able to feel like we're sitting on the couch together. I'm very casual, as you can see, so you can feel free to be really casual. It's just an opportunity to utilize some of the energies that are around us at the moment and take that energy and use it to create something for our life. So at the moment we are, the 13th of January is the next full moon. It's the full moon in Cancer. I'm not an astrologer. I'm just aware that the moon has a lot of powerful energies around it. And so we can draw on that at the moment to do some creating. So if you want to do that with me, get nice and comfy. Really imagine yourself like sitting on the couch and we're having a chat. That's something I love to do with my friends, is just get really cozy. Maybe we've got some oracle decks, we've got our journals, a cup of tea, whatever feels good for you. And we'll get started. So if you need to, you can quickly pause now, grab yourself a piece of paper and pen, or a journal and pen. If you want to make yourself a cup of tea or have a little snack, that's totally fine. I won't be giving any Reiki in this chat, so you don't have to worry about preparing for any of that. So pause now and then come back once you've got those bits and pieces. Okay, so the current full moon that we're moving into, full moon in Cancer, like I said, I'm not an astrologer. I don't dive deep into astrology, but I am aware of what's going on and I do like to tune into it where it feels relevant. So the 13th of January is the technical peaking of the full moon, and depending on where you are in the world, that will be a little different. But really the full moon energy is really a portal that I find exists for around 6 days, 3 days leading up, 3 days after. You might find if you start to track yourself around the full moon, something that I've experienced over the years is my dreams can get more vivid, more detailed, sometimes even a bit like weirder leading up to a full moon. I need to go to the toilet more in the middle of the night, just things where my body is responding to that heightened power of the full moon. And if we really think about the full moon, pre-industrialization, that was a time where, especially like now in the southern hemisphere, when we've got our longest days, the sun's up till really late and then the moon kicks in, it's really a time of illumination. If we imagine the full moon pre-industrialization, where there wasn't electricity, we didn't have lights everywhere, we had candles, the full moon really provided an opportunity for people to be out more, but to see more. So when we think about the full moon symbolically, we think about what it's illuminating, what it's shining light on, what has been in the darkness that we can now see. And so when we see those things, we can make decisions about whether or not they still serve us, whether it's valuable having that in our lives or not. And if it's not, then we can make a more conscious and proactive choice to release some things and to get a little bit more in alignment with where we want to go. So thinking about the full moon in Cancer, Cancer is a water sign. It's a sign of the home. When we think about the little crab, and the crab's got its home on its back. When I tune into this full moon, I'm really getting energy around our inner home and how we feel at home within ourselves. And I know some of the other themes that come up with this Cancer full moon are really around hopes and dreams. If we look globally, there's a lot going on in the world right now, a lot of really difficult, tragic things going on in the natural world and also in the man-made world. So our ability to acknowledge that, to not try and dismiss it or pretend it's not happening, but actually just to more actively cultivate hope and to start to think about how we can dream in better versions of ourselves, of the world, in a way that feels really in alignment for us, for who we want to be, for our values, our beliefs. So that's the essence of where we are experiencing this full moon. So when we think about our own personal journey with the full moon and its ability to illuminate for us, sometimes that can feel a bit full on, like, oh gosh, like I don't really want to go dredging. I don't really want to have to open that closet over there that I've crammed shut and, just not been looking at for a really long time. But it doesn't have to be a stressful thing. And I really don't want this chat time with me to feel stressful in any way. It's like we're just having a chat, we're just mucking around, just seeing what feels good. And so just to really carry that energy with you as we go through this little experience together, and allowing us to be open-minded, to what's possible. So what I would like to do is to just take a moment to allow yourself to really come into the space, just to drop in a little bit. And then after that, I'm going to give you a couple of questions for you to journal on. And the reason I do that is because sometimes those questions, they're their own little portals, they can help guide us in a way that allows us to get a little bit more clarity, a little more understanding about what's going on for us specifically as an individual and what we might want to possibly change or introduce into our lives. So we think about the full moon and the dark moon. We've got this full moon that's really illuminating everything, like what can we see, what do we want to keep, what do we want to let go, and really allowing ourselves that release. And in the dark moon, taking that energy and really reflecting upon, well, what do I want to create with this fertility, this we think about that dark volcanic soil, that's the kind of energy that I think of the dark moon, where it's like, oh, this is so fertile and ripe for growth. So they work hand in hand. We have this process of release and then this process of planting back in. Often, you'll find if you have a uterus that your bleed will align with those different phases of the moon. Some people bleed on the dark moon, others bleed on the full moon. I switch in between. I'm currently a full moon bleeder. So that might be something else you notice about yourself in the full moon. Okay, so let's just get comfy where you are. Hopefully you're already comfy on your couch. But just taking a minute, if it feels good for you to just gently close your eyes. You can either rest your hands in your lap, or you might like to place one over your belly, one over your heart, just whatever feels natural and good for you. It's nice to close your eyes just because it helps you to go within a little more rather than looking at my face, but that's up to you. You can do that if you want. But just settling in, just really allowing yourself to feel your body resting on the couch or the floor, the bed, wherever you might be, just really feeling that connection, just feeling how you're being held in space, and just taking in a couple of nice deep breaths. And just allowing yourself to let go on the exhale. Breathing in. And sinking more deeply. Exhale. And one more beautiful, big, nourishing, deep breath in. And a slow releasing exhale. And as we drop more deeply into our inner space here, just finding that soft breath, that natural breath. Connecting into your inner world, the place from which you live your life when you're not hustling and bustling out in the world. This is your sanctuary space. This is your place of creation. It's the home to your feelings, your memories, your joy. It's a beautiful space that only you get to experience, this inner world. And just taking a moment here just to really reflect upon how beautiful some of the experiences in your life have been that you get to keep in your memory box here. Some of the incredible joy that you felt, the laughter, the play, the happiness that all gets to exist within your cells, in your bones, in your blood. And we allow ourselves to feel all those beautiful things and reconnect with them in our body. We also ask this beautiful full moon to gently and softly illuminate anything within us that might need a little reflection, a little illumination. Some things that maybe have been helpful for us once, but maybe not so much anymore. And just trusting through this process here together that whatever needs to be made clear or come to the surface will do so in an effortless and loving way. Trusting in the process here and knowing that you are always held with love and peaceful energy. So be it. Sorry, I'm not sure what happened there. Okay, so now you can gently open your eyes. Wiggle your body if you need to. There's a little blowfly buzzing around me because it's hot summer, so excuse me if I'm doing some little swipes. Okay, so now while we're just in this lovely soft energy, I'm going to get you to grab your pen and your paper. And I'm going to give you some questions. So I'll read them out and then I'll read them out slowly so that you can write them down. And then what I'm going to get you to do is just for the next 10 minutes to allow yourself to answer those questions. So ordinarily I will sit with you during that. In this particular chat, I'm just going to get you to pause. And what I would recommend that you do is set a little timer on your phone for 10 minutes so you're not constantly checking the time, and just allow yourself to write. I'll also post underneath a little playlist with some music that you might like to play as you're writing, just to sort of gently underscore that process. And once your timer goes off after 10 minutes, then you can press play again and we will come back together after. Okay? So the questions, let me get them for you now. So the first question is, how have my routines and beliefs been holding me back? So how have my routines and beliefs been holding me back? Then the second question, what am I ready to let go of so that I can really enjoy my life? What am I ready to let go of so that I can really enjoy my life? And the third question, how can I change to live a life more alignment with how I want to feel? How can I change to live a life more in alignment with how I want to feel? And there's sort of a sub-question to that if you feel like you need it, which is, what do I want my life to feel like? So if that's not clear to you, then maybe you want to add that one in first. What do I want my life to feel like? So You can pause here, set your phone for 10 minutes, put some music on, and just free flow journal. There's no rules. Well, there is a rule. The one rule is don't stop writing until your timer goes off. Even if you're writing, this is dumb and a waste of my time, why am I doing this? That's fine, just write that. And then stop when the timer goes off and come back. Okay. So hopefully you're coming back because you have done your 10 minutes of journaling. And so now's the time to really just allow what has come through to just settle for you. So sometimes we can write things and it can be quite surprising to us, especially when we do this little chunk of time, uninterrupted time that really allows us to get into some flow, that things can come up that we weren't expecting, you know? And that's great. And sometimes it can be a little bit confronting. Other times it's really like exciting. And the best thing that we can do is just to sort of let it be for a minute, to not feel like we straight away have to make some sort of drastic change or to be overwhelmed with whatever might have come up. It's really just to allow it to sink in. And if there are actions, obvious actions that you feel like you can take as a result of some of the clarity that you've received from those journal prompts, fantastic. And you might want to write a little bit more about that, or there might be things, you know, for you to explore to take those next steps. But really the process is just about uncovering, you know, so there is no right or wrong way. There's nothing that you need to do or have to do as a result of anything that might have come through, but the opportunity is there. If you do want to, if you feel inspired, if you feel like you've received a piece of clarity that's had you go, oh yes, amazing, that's what I want to do, then great, go do that, you know. But really, I just wanted to, I guess, offer this space to you because it's something that I enjoy and it's something that personally I like doing and feel is really effective. And sometimes it's just nice to have somebody else guide the process for you rather than you having to sit down and go, oh, it's a full moon, I don't know what to do. Like, I want to do something. I know that the energy's there and it's feeling really active, but I'm not really sure where to start or what to do. So this is just an offering for you to give you a little bit of a framework, and you can explore further. And if it feels like, you know, it's interesting to you, you can look into more of what the energies of the full moon are about. But really it's just for you to connect with yourself and to find that deeper connection with some of that wisdom and knowledge and insight that exists within you, because we get so busy, we've got a lot going on, that sometimes it's hard to sort of stop and come back to ourselves and to really learn to listen to what our inner world wants to share with us. So that's what tonight's about. So I hope that's been a useful process for you. I hope to do these again in the future. Please let me know if you enjoy it, and I will do them again. If you want to connect with me, I'm probably most active on Instagram at Erin Schliebs. You can always find me at erinschliebs.com. I hope you have a beautiful full moon, and I will speak to you sometime soon.